Hi, folks, and you're very welcome to the latest edition in the Boylan Talks video series. In the last couple of editions of our series, you will know, of course, that I've been focusing on the gardening projects which myself and my partner Susie have undertaken over the last, oh God, I suppose 3 weeks or a month, by way of um, giving myself something to do more or less while there was no sport on, or the local rehab service that I attend most days during the week was closed down as well. So most of you will have seen in the last video that I've a fair array of vegetables down already, and I think it was since I did the last video, we've put down two lots of spuds, and while they haven't actually taken yet, um, they nearly everything else that we've put down so far is shown signs of development, if you want to call it that, from onion scallions to tomatoes, lettuce, beetroot, leeks, carrots. Oh God, there's that much stuff for after putting down now. I can't even. We've Susie has a little herb box which is taken off well as well. And in my hand here, I don't know if you can see, but I've got another consignment of seeds in this morning. I have red onion and spinach and cabbage and parsley and turnips and more turnips. So I think that's all we have to put down for the on the vegetable side for the time being. I do hope later in the year to sow a late crop of potatoes in order to maybe have our own spuds for the Christmas dinner at the back end of the year. I'm just after remembering that I also have Brussels sprouts down now that I think of it. But look, it's just been a total breath of fresh air for me, because with all the sport off, uh, and as I say, the rehab knocked out and not even being able to go down the town or that, I desperately needed something to fill the gap. And you know, not just um, you know, it gives me something like I now I know this is at a small scale and plenty of people will probably laugh, but I am thinking of it more as vegetable farming rather than just gardening, because the way I have to look at it from the point of view of my own mental health is that there's one certain thing with farming, that there is literally something to be done the whole year round, and at a time like this with so many other things off the agenda that becomes invaluable. Um, as regards the dry stock farming, which would be my first love and what I really live for being at, um, due to um, circumstances around the COVID and the way most people's worlds have been turned upside down. Um, Buying cattle is not an option at the minute, but even if it was, with the crazy bloody prices cattle are in the mart at the minute, it would certainly be outside of my price range anyway. So, um, look, I'm not under any circumstances going to give up on the idea of going back into dry stock farming again. But for the time being, between prices the way they are and uh, the way circumstances are here and the scarcity of available bodies to give a dig out, because it probably goes without me saying that as much as I love it and as much as it is one of the greatest passions in my life, uh, I can't kid myself for the simple reason that I do need somebody to do most of the physical work for me, and I have to be fair in that regard. Whereas with the garden is substituting on two fronts, in that it's keeping me occupied, number one, and because of the way we have it set up, and will continue to develop the setup, it's done in such a way that um, I can actually manage to do it from the chair, or most of it anyway. Um, because um, it's keeping on top of mental health issues is difficult enough at any time, but with the way not only my world but the entire world has been turned upside down of late, um, you know, I personally have had to come up with alternative ways of keeping the mind occupied and keeping myself from going insane, basically. But um, I'm sure some of you will have noticed on the site in the last couple of months, since the coronavirus became an issue, or I think it was even before the lockdown started, that I put up the first in the series called Rolling Down Memory Lane, which was basically a way of recalling some of the greatest sporting occasions that I've been lucky enough to be able to take in, both in in person and on television. Of course, starting with the Meath Dublin saga of 1991, and the latest instalment of which was I just put up there this morning, or was it last night? I think it was last night. I put it up, looking back at, well, the penultimate piece I put up was looking at, say, the All Ireland Hurling Championships from, basically, I think 92 or 93 to 98. And the article which was posted last night was basically a continuation of that from 99 more or less up to the present time. And as I say, that was episode 11 of the series, and the plan now is to make it a 15-part series, just to oh, I don't know, it's just I like to, there are parts of life I like to make into something like a football team. So when I got as far as 11, I said to myself, I may as well do 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, I certainly have 12 and 13 in me head. Whether I would be able to get the last two out of it, we'll wait and see. But what plan would be to make something bigger out of the series, even by the time when I have it all finished, because I'm sure, to move on to the next topic, I just want to mention while I have your attention, I'm sure some of you are no doubt wondering where what became of the autobiography. Now, the autobiography I started writing on the 14th of December last year, and initially, my plan would have sort of had it to be at least gone to press around now, if not out. But again, I go back to what has been the central theme of this piece so far, that the coronavirus and the country being shut down, etc., etc., sort of threw everything into a tailspin, from what the lack of live sport did to my own mental health, to um, it reduced the current stuff to be writing on, and it knocked me back a fair bit mentally, as regards going back into the digging up that has to be done if an autobiography is going to be honest and going to say everything that I wanted to say. Now, it will be finished, I can guarantee you that. It will be finished, but the Memory Lane series has took on such a life of its own, if you want to call it that. Chances are the Memory Lane one will be going into book form. Well, it definitely will be going into book form, but chances are that it may well end up in book form and out before the autobiography does. And if it does, then I'm not too bothered, because my plan was to have one book out this year and one book out next year anyway. But what I had planned to do was do the autobiography for this year, because had I made it to Croke Park to see a match this year, it would have been 30 years consecutively of going to matches, both club and county. And then next year, 2021, would have been exactly 10 years to 10 years since Boylan Talk Sport was set up or launched, or whatever way you want to put it. thanks to the outstanding help and patience and expertise of Dave Reddy. Now, as some of you will know, more of you won't, we actually went off the air for a few months last year for a variety of reasons between Dave was not in a position to give the amount of invaluable assistance and help which he had been doing, and that was totally understandable because I've never made any secret of the fact that Boylan Talk Sport wouldn't exist without him. So so we, or I should I say, let it go on the back burner for a few months last year, and it was only due to Dave's kind assistance and help that Susie managed to get it up and get it going again. So actually, believe it or believe it not, we are now on the 3rd of June, is it? Yeah. So this day next week, actually, the 10th of June, will be a year up and going again. And I just had a look at the stats and the figures before I started recording, and I'm absolutely flabbergasted and so appreciative of people's support, and a little overwhelmed to be able to tell you all that as of tonight, since we relaunched last June, we are up on 23,500 visitors, viewers in total, and 17,500 for this year alone. I cannot emphasize to people how much that means to me. Um, Sport in so many ways is my life, was my life, and in some way, shape, or form always will be. But, you know, there's only there's only value in writing stuff if people read it and people enjoy it. And, it's in as much as writing as a form of absolutely invaluable therapy for myself. The biggest kick I get out of writing is seeing the enjoyment people get out of reading it, and your loyalty and support uh, is a value actually could not be put on it. It's priceless because as long as I have a purpose to keep writing and keep the wheels turning, as I always say, that's what I want. So, just I know you're probably sick of me rambling on at this stage, but just one or two more points. As I say, to finish off on the book side of things, the plan as of now is um, we'll have Rolling Down Memory Lane out in book form before the end of the year, and hopefully the autobiography won't be too far behind it. Definitely will be finished, but it could just take a bit longer than what I had hoped and what I had expected. Last but by no means least, it's actually wonderful to be able to say that I've had a bit of live sport keep going with the racing back in England. I don't know how many of you would have seen the tweet I posted last night where I said very honestly that I would not in any means be an expert on English flat racing, but I cannot tell you how much it has meant both from a mental health point of view and just purely an entertainment aspect, and something to put a smile back on my face in the last couple of days to have actual live ongoing sport back in my midst again, so to speak. Um, so I um I wouldn't go so far as to put tips or write reviews or anything like that up yet about the English stuff, because I just, honest to God, plainly wouldn't know enough about it. But um, please God, when the Irish stuff gets going again, we'll be having a go at. Certainly, I mightn't put tips up for the flat meetings. Certainly, in a fortnight, when the jump racing comes back, we'll give it a proper go. For now, I'm going to sign off though, because as I say, there's still 3 or 4 more episodes of Rolling Down Memory Lane to come along, and we might actually have a bit of current stuff to write about sooner rather than later as well. So thanks very much for looking in, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Thank you very much.